Hey y'all, so welcome back to my channel. Today I just kind of want to talk to you guys about when I lost control. And I know you're probably like, lost control, what does that mean? And a lot of stuff I just hold on to instead of going ahead and recording it, so I'm up really early recording this. So yeah, things that I could not control, I chose to let it go. That started with my losing control. I didn't go crazy, I didn't like beat somebody half to death or anything like that. But I lost control. I learned to let go and let God. So a lot of you know that like well, people that know me or follow me on Facebook, you see me speak about anxiety and depression and how I started therapy last year. And how I also started medication, which is a low dose of fluoxetine, Prozac, just to kind of help me be balanced. Because I'm an anxious person anyway, and so I'm usually at a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10. I found this out in therapy that I'm at a 4. Like, I'm always at a 4, so I'm always a little bit anxious, or you know, I've never been a worry wart, but like I'm always a little bit anxious. And that's like a result of my childhood, like living with my grandma who was mentally ill. It just really took a toll on me. I realized as I got older, and it contributed to my anxiety because I'll always be trying to think about how to keep me and her safe. And I always had to think a step ahead of her. So like I had to always, you know, try to predict how to control her actions. If you've ever lived with somebody that was schizophrenic, bipolar, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. So I had to always be thinking and predicting what she would probably do next, and I had to learn how to control the outcome of it. So now that I'm an adult, I really, you know, struggle with that, being in control. So the root of my anxiety and depression is the fact I can't control the outcome. Is that I'm used to being able to predict what's going to happen. I'm used to being able to figure out how to change it or how to manipulate the situation to where the outcome is favorable, you know. And so I had to learn how to let go and, you know, lose control. So last summer, like, was really hard for me. I thought about suicide multiple times. I never attempted suicide, but I definitely thought about suicide. And then when I look back at where I am now, I'm like, girl, like last summer when I was in that dark place, you couldn't have told me we would have a house. You couldn't have told me we would be where we are in our careers. You couldn't have told me that I would be like not working and trying to be an influencer. Like, you could have never told me that I'd be on YouTube. You could have never told me I would stay on my head again. Excuse me, you could have never told me I would stay on my head again this year. So I just want to tell somebody, you can't see it because it's not in your forefront, because it's not directly in front of you, and that's stressful. So it's kind of like when you have anxiety and you see all this chaos in front of you, can't see what's behind it. And that, for me, makes me panic, which anxiety leads to panic attacks. So for me, that's hard. But I had to learn how to say, okay, this is what's happening right now. But I know on the other side of this chaos and confusion, it's better. It's better times, you know? And so I just want to tell somebody, like, if you're going through a tough time mentally, you're struggling with anxiety or depression, I just want to say it's okay to lose control. It's okay to not be the strong one. I think, you know, Black women, all women, but mostly Black women, we're taught to be strong. We're taught to, like, you know, people say, like, if somebody died, like, I had to practice not saying be strong. Like, you don't have to be strong. We don't have to carry the load. Like, that's how I would feel sometimes, like, before I started therapy. Like, I felt like everything in life was just on my shoulders, and I was packing around and carrying around and just trying to stay strong. And being strong actually weakens you. Being strong when you don't need to be actually weakens you. God is the strongest when we're the weakest, you know. And I had to realize that too. Like, why are you trying to be God? Like, let him fix it. And, you know, he had to check me with that too. Like, girl, you ain't me. Like, you cannot fix this. You cannot control the outcome. Because humans, we have limits. We limited. You don't do so much. God is limitless. So why are you trying to fix outcomes that ain't even for you to fix? You know, why are you trying to manipulate a situation that's not even for you to change? So, and I mean, like I said, it's a day-to-day struggle. I have to consciously say, okay, it's out of your control. It's out of your control. Don't panic. Don't start, because you cannot control it. You have to lose control. You have to lose yourself so God can take over. So yeah, it's really been a work for me. I'm still a work in progress. But I'm much better between therapy, taking medication, and just giving it over to God. I have come a long way, because last year I was in a dark place, and I don't want people to confuse, style and glam and everything you see on Facebook or Instagram. I don't want you to confuse that with a perfect life, because you didn't see me when my husband had to pick me up off the floor because I was crying, when he had to physically pick me up and put me in the bed, because I was so weak and I felt so beat down, and I just felt so weak. You didn't see that. You didn't see when my mama had to talk to me on the phone for an hour because I was crying, having chest pain because I was so depressed for a whole hour, over an hour. You don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So don't take people's highlight reels and think that it's perfection, because that's just a highlight of their life. When I look back at pictures from last year, of around this time last year when I was really in dark place, I'm like, people had no idea that I was really, really in pain. And some people close to me knew that. But if you look at those pictures, like, she wasn't hurting. And I think we all have a funny way of showing, pain. And I was in so much pain emotionally and mentally that it manifested physically, with chest pain, just feeling ill, not want to do anything. It manifested physically, and that's just not healthy. So I just want to, encourage somebody to keep going. Do what you have to do for your self-care, for your mental health. Do whatever it is you have to do. If you have to step away, if you have to go get therapy, you have to get on medication, whatever you want to do. If you want to go, if working out is your self-care, do it. Don't let loads that you don't have to carry, don't let it weigh you down, because not every load is meant for us. And when they say God won't give us more than we can bear, I believe that's a true statement. Everything is not meant for you to carry. So I just want to remind y'all of that. And my favorite go-to relaxation techniques is rubbing my lips, the bottom of my lip right here. That reduces cortisol, and I just do that until I calm down. And then finding the indentations on your collarbone. It's like kind of like a flat part on your collarbone. It's about right here. Rub that. That reduces cortisol, the release of cortisol. And it just kind of tells your mind, okay, you're freaking out. Calm down. I also like to set a timer on my watch or on my phone for 15 seconds. And I watch the clock count down backwards to 1. And you just watch it, and it just kind of reroutes your brain. And kind of makes you not forget, but it helps you not focus. Because when you're anxious, you kind of, you get fixated on something. I get fixated. So the counting technique just kind of helps you stop focusing so much on whatever the issue is. So, that person, that situation, whatever it is that you're carrying is, working you up and it's not healthy for you, let it go. It's not selfish. It's just accepting the fact that you have limits. We all have limits. And everything is not meant for you to change. And as a nurse, it's in me to be okay, this patient is like this. I know what the plan of care is. I'm going to tell the doctor we're going to implement all these interventions, and this should be the outcome. But that's not real. I can't use that in life. Yes, at work, it works majority of the time. But in life, there's not a blueprint to things. There's not a definite outcome. Not that we know. And so once you accept the fact that you don't have to know the outcome, and that it's not meant for you to carry that person, it's not meant for you to carry that situation, once you realize that, you'll be much better off. So I hope that this video helped. I hope that it was right on time for somebody. And take care of yourself. Before you can take care of anybody, you have to take care of yourself. On that note, stay chic.
You just keep on taking.